Hey, boys and girls. So, what we're going to do today is we are looking at our forms of poetry right here. So, I've just kind of shared my screen so you can see what we're talking about. And we have 4 types of poetry that we want to look at a little bit closer. Up here in the blue, we have free verse. And free verse has no set line length. That means it can be as long as you want it to be. It doesn't have a set number of lines. Remember when we looked at limericks, those had only 5 lines. So with free verse, you can have as many lines as you want. There's no set rhythm either. If you'll remember limericks, I think they were in the pattern A, A, B, B, A. So the first 2 lines would rhyme, second 2 lines would rhyme, and then the last line would match those first couple of lines. So it had a set rhythm. This one has no set rhythm and no set rhyming pattern, so it doesn't have to rhyme with one another. And it's a way of conveying feelings and ideas. Okay, so normally in free verse, you see, a lot of someone's emotions or their thoughts, how they feel about something. That's normally where you'll find free verse, okay? Then we have narrative, and I like narrative. Narrative is always going to tell a story. It can rhyme, but it does not have to, and it normally has characters with a setting, a conflict, and a plot. So a conflict being something that's wrong in the story. So a good example of that would be like Cat in the Hat would be a good narrative story. It also would kind of pull in humorous. It kind of falls into both lines. But of course, you've got your conflict and your plot. You've got a problem when the cat makes a mess, and then he brings thing 1 and thing 2. So that one has a little bit of humorous mixed in with the narrative. And sometimes you'll see where they kind of cross over and have more than one. Humorous is, of course, what we studied the first 2 days this week, and it is when something is funny, it can be silly, and it can rhyme. Now, it doesn't have to rhyme. So this one is kind of like up here, it doesn't have to, with the narrative where they don't have to rhyme, but a lot of times you will find that they do rhyme. And then we have lyrical. Okay, lyrical has almost a beat of a song. Okay, and if you ever look at music, you call the words that are spoken in music lyrics, and that's where they find this. That's why this term is called lyrical. It kind of goes hand in hand with that, and it expresses strong feelings like a song, and it can rhyme. Okay, it doesn't have to, but it can. Now, if you will keep these 4 in mind, we're going to watch a video, and I want you to kind of decide if you think it's a free verse, a narrative, a humorous, or a lyrical poem. Okay, here we go.
Rhymes with Orange by Adam Rex. Who wouldn't travel anywhere to get an apple or a pear? And if a chum hands you a plum, be fair and share that tasty treat. Hit the beach in your cabana with a peach or a banana. Hey, are you guys going to need me for this book? And these grapes are wearing capes because they're super good to eat. Just wanted you to know I'm available in case something comes up. Fruit! They're healthy, happy, colorful, and cute. I'll be back here if you need me. It isn't very big, but still, I think you dig a fig. I mean, I know nothing rhymes with me, but... And the kiwi may be peewee, but it packs a pucker punch. Whoops! Hello! If you aren't a fan of cantaloupe, then feed it to an antelope. Well, that was a little forced. And this quince wants to convince you that he's really good for lunch. This what? Fruit! They're healthy, happy, colorful, and cute. Quince. You can keep them in a bowl or in a boot. Fruit! I don't even know what that is. I think cherries are the berries, and the lychee is just peachy. Thus Spoke Zarathustra is a book by Friedrich Nietzsche. What? Baruchi! They're healthy, happy, colorful, and cute. I don't see why he's in this poem and I'm not. The banana thinks he'd look good in a suit. Is all I'm saying. Nothing fits him, so the argument is moot. Fruit! If a pear gets lost at night and meets a wolf who takes a bite, whoa. Then does that pear become a pear wolf when the moon is full and bright? This book's sort of gone off the rails. Will the apple have to grapple with this pear with fangs and hair? I'm glad I'm not part of it. No, a grape dressed in a cape flies by to tie him to a chair. Oh, who am I kidding? This book is amazing. Fruit! They're healthy, happy, colorful, and cute. Happens every time. The date is on a date and things are going pretty great. Me and Kumquat always ignored. Here's a twist. At party time, I like a little slice of a lime. That's not really much of a twist. The yam is looking glam and the jam band's making jam. Looks like fun. While the berries joke with honeydew like people who are funny do. Wait a minute. Yams aren't fruit. The kumquat and the currant felt left out until they weren't. Oh, are you kidding me? The cantaloupe and mango can't elope, but they can tango. I'm just gonna hang out on the next page. But the fruit are feeling rotten, 'cause there's someone they've forgotten. Huh? It's the orange. He's really smornge. There's no one quite as smornge as orange. Smornge? What? What does it mean? It means totally awesome in every way. Fruit! Brute, coot, flute, hoot, jute, loot, newt, root, toot! They're healthy, happy, colorful, and cute. Fruit, 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 fruit! Some orange.
Okay, so if we come back to our picture that shows our different forms of poetry, I can kind of see a couple different ones going on. The main reason when we looked up that poem was it's written as a humorous poem, but it kind of told a story. We had characters. There was some rhyming going on, although the orange wasn't always rhyming with what was on the page. It was kind of rhyming other than what Orange was saying, and it was telling a story. And I could kind of see how it could be either of those. And what we're going to do today for your assignment on Google Classroom is I've given you a couple examples of humorous poems. And humorous poems normally can go hand in hand with narrative a little bit, kind of tell a story. But what I want you to do is I want you to pick one of these four types of poems, and I want you to write one to share with us. Okay. And you can put it in any, as long as it fits into one of these four categories, then it can be submitted. It can be, now we learned about limericks a while back. We learned about that, I think, in the fall. And this is an example of a limerick. It says, "There was an old man with a beard who said, 'It is just as I feared. 2 owls and a hen, 4 larks and a wren have all built their nests in my beard.'" And the difference here is that the ending words are what we look at, and the first 2 lines rhyme, the second 2 lines rhyme, and then the last line, the fifth line, has to rhyme with those first two. Okay. And then another one, this is an example of a free verse rhyme, and it still is kind of telling a story. So the fog comes on little cat feet. It sits looking over harbor in a city on silent haunches and then moves on. So as you can tell, that one doesn't really have any rhyming words on the end here. So it would be considered free verse. Now, sometimes free verse can go along with narrative or humorous. So I don't want you to get, trapped in a box. Don't think that if you're writing a funny story that it can't tell a story like a narrative would, okay? So don't make yourself stay inside this box, okay? Kind of pull in whatever you need to write me a poem, but you are to write a poem. It has to be at least 5 lines. Now, I don't care if there's only 5 or 6 words to a line, but it must be at least 5 lines long. So see how this limerick was 5 lines, and see this one only had, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 words on a line. That's okay. All right, if you need to do that, you can just, but I need it to be at least 5. If you're doing a rhyming one, then I want you to at least have like 2 sets of rhymes. Okay, so see how these 2 rhyme and these 2, that would be perfectly fine. You could do it like a limerick if you want to, okay? So I want you to pick one of these 4 forms of poetry, and you're going to submit those on Google Classroom for your reading assignment today, okay? And I hope you have fun with it, and I miss you guys and love you. Bye-bye.